Hi, I'm Parker Pemberton with Pemberton Homes at eXp Realty, and today I want to share a few low-cost, high-return improvements that you can make to your property right now. All right, let's be honest, you can go absolutely crazy when improving your property. And one of the most common things that I get asked from our sellers and our clients is, what can I be doing to my property? What can I improve in our property to make the biggest impact or have the highest return? And honestly, there are some things that I see sellers doing that aren't going to provide a return, and I see some others that are doing exactly what they need to do to see the highest return and create the most saleable property. All right, one of the most cost-effective improvements you can make is painting your home. Now, changing the colors up and brightening your home can definitely make a huge impact. And for under $1,000, you can typically get this done. Now, you're not going to be able to hire professionals to paint. You're going to have to do this yourself. But typically what I see is $500 to $1,000, you can paint pretty much any surface of your home. The next one that I typically recommend to our sellers is improving the lighting. So changing out those old fixtures, those old bulbs, making sure that you have consistency through your house. I see far too often people that have LEDs versus the old light bulbs. And LEDs actually don't show the best to prospective buyers. Having something more neutral is definitely recommended. Getting your carpets cleaned or professional cleaning in general is definitely recommended and shouldn't cost you any more than $1,000. In fact, cleaning is going to be a lot cheaper. You can even go down to Home Depot and rent a carpet cleaner or a lot of different tools to help with this. Cleaning your home is one of the top priorities when getting ready to sell, and it's something you can do right now to improve your property. The next is improving the fixtures in your home. A lot of times I see old brass and things that are out of date. And reality, you can go down to the local hardware shop and purchase brand new hardware for the entire house and improve the look of your cabinets or your fixtures very, very easily. A lot of this can be done with a screwdriver and your hand. So it's definitely one of the most cost-effective things you can do. The other is resurfacing your sinks, your bowls, and your bathtubs. When they get cracked or they start to form, discoloration, it's definitely one of the things you can do to improve your bathrooms and your sinks. In fact, there is a product in the company out there for under $1,000. You can paint all tile, your bathtub and your toilets a neutral color like white. The next step up, typically when we get to that $1,000 to $2,000 range, it does start to get a little more expensive, and it gets to the point where you might need to hire a professional to do the work. One of the first things that I recommend that can be typically under $2,000 is replacing carpet in rooms and matching carpet to larger surfaces. Far too many times I go into a house and I see 3 or 4 different types of carpet, and a new home buyer is going to come in there and they're going to look at that and think, well, I'm going to have to do this. So in their minds, they're going to reduce the offer on your house because they have to put that money in after the fact. Another thing that I would recommend for typically under $2,000 is refinishing your cabinets or resurfacing them. You can do this yourself. It's not terribly difficult, but it's messy, and there's a huge difference between do it yourself and a professional to do this. So I typically recommend hiring out professionals to do this, but it definitely can take old cabinets and make them look new again, and it can give your kitchen a huge upgrade when it comes to the buyers coming through your house. All right, the next step up, we start to get into replacing appliances and mechanicals. For about $3,000, you can pretty much switch out your kitchen appliances, your microwaves, ovens. Your refrigerator is probably the most expensive appliance, as you know. But getting rid of that old stuff and replacing with stainless steel or something more trendy is definitely recommended. If a buyer comes into your home, they're going to look at that and they're going to say, okay, I don't know how long this refrigerator is going to last. So it gives them the peace of mind. It also shows them that the seller is willing to invest in their property in order to get top dollar. Next on this list is one of the things that I recommend the most, and that's refinishing your hardwood floors. A lot of times the older homes have that great oak floor surface, and it has scratches, right? Dogs, cats, moisture, people, all sorts of things. And for under $3,000, you can typically sand all of your hardwood floors. The cost for most of the resurfacing companies is around $4 to $5 a foot. So add up the total amount of square footage that you think you need, times it by that amount, and you should be able to get a pretty good accurate measure of what that's going to cost. But it's definitely going to make a huge impact. When we go above $3,000 and get kind of into that $4,000 to $5,000 range, now what we're talking about is replacing surfaces. So replacing countertops, replacing vanities, replacing bathtubs, that kind of thing. Removing the old and putting in the new. And today people want to see quartz and granites and all sorts of other stone type countertops. The laminates are now out. But this is something where you can see a 2 to 3 time return on your investment if you put in the right surfaces. So refinishing cabinetry or replacing it, just depending on how much you have, replacing countertops, vanities, porcelain bowls, and bathtubs are definitely recommended when you're getting ready to sell your house. And lastly, when we get to that kind of $5,000 and up, we start to talk about replacing hardwood floors, adding in LVT, which is a luxury vinyl tile. Really kind of just going above and beyond, replacing your trim work if needed, and making those high-end finishes that some of the older homes don't have. And one of the last things I want to recommend when it comes to that $5,000 range is taking care of the windows. First thing a buyer is going to do when they come in the house is they're going to want to know what the age of the windows are, and what kind of shape they're in. Especially living in Minnesota, they're going to want to know how efficient the house is. And if a lot of hot air or cold air is escaping, they're going to see that as a big costly repair that they need to make down the line. So if you're going to spend $4,000 to $5,000 or you have the budget to spend more, I would definitely recommend upgrading those older windows to a newer style of window from a high quality manufacturer. It makes a huge difference when selling your house, and I think you're going to see a 2 to 3 time return if you're willing to do those type of repairs. Now, the other thing is, if you ever want me to come over and take a look and make recommendations or connect you with our recommended vendors, I'd be happy to do so. Just send me an email or give me a call anytime. That's a wrap. I'm Parker Pemberton, Pemberton Homes at eXp Realty. Hope you have a fantastic day.